Good morning.
Hi.
So today we're going to talk about, I'm going to listen. You did an awful lot of awesome listening on that first time, our first consult together.
Yeah.
And so today, I guess I'll listen to what role you would like to play and what you would expect from me and what questions you have and
Mhm.
whatever you
Sure.
want.
Sure. So, yeah, I just wanted to check in because I realized I may not have been clear, and so there seemed to be, like a mismatch of information, and so I left our call last week a little confused, and so I just wanted to get some clarification and share some clarification because I realized I may not have been clear either. So I was like, yeah, I probably before before any misunderstandings happen. So basically, when I get hired, for Be Weird Make Money, it's much like when I get hired for success teams, only it's a little different, obviously, because most times it's one-on-one with people, which is different than the success teams in that, in success teams I work with a group of people. But basically I get hired to, like, I'm an idea consultant. I help workshop ideas and stuff. And so last week when we started talking, I thought I was going to be helping you figure out like how to monetize your project and everything, because it's not like you needed to figure out your idea. You already had your idea. And I thought, okay, maybe she needs some help figuring out how to, market it or get it out there or monetize it or whatever. And then it ended up not, didn't need me for that. And so, and then when you sent me the emails, with the YouTube page and everything like that, I was like, okay, cool. But then I was like, wait, so, and I just wanted to clarify, because I like how much involvement you were needing and wanting and stuff like that, because I typically don't do long-term work. Like the longest I work with people generally is about 2 months. And so like when people have hired me in the past to coach them, like it looks like this. So, it's $300 for a month, and it's like a 90-minute session to start, to kind of get the ideas rolling and to set up an action plan. And then I check in with people every week for about half an hour to do some accountability work, and that's where it's like the success team stuff. But instead of a group, it's just one-on-one. But it's like, okay, so here's what we said you would do last week. How did it go? Where'd you get stuck? What obstacles do you need? And then if you want to do that ongoing, it's $150, and it's just a continuation of the half-hour check-ins. But I generally don't do that very long-term, because honestly, I'm not great at it. So, after a while, I lose my effectiveness. Like my strengths are really kind of at the beginning of projects, and, kind of helping to figure out the action plan. Like, okay, here's how to get the ball rolling. And so I just wanted to hear more from you about kind of what you wanted from me, and kind of scope, like how long or how much time involvement and everything like that, just to kind of manage expectations.
Okay. Um, well, the good news is that in addition to your background is also in theater, right?
Yep,
You have theater arts and everything.
I do.
And I did not anticipate what I discovered. I just try to keep praying and keep open. And I found someone who calls that openness being in a transformative, um, I forgot the exact words, of transformative mind, but transformative space.
Ooh,
Thinking
yeah.
about your mind as a transformative space. And she has a PhD. She's in she's interracial relations. Uh,
Yeah.
basically I am so poor at communication. Why in the world I feel motivated to use my worst possible skills?
We teach what we need to learn.
Yes, that apparently is true, because I am, in writing, sometimes I'm a little better.
Mhm.
But verbally, I have to say it wrong 700 times before. But, so whenever I do an email, it can take me 8 hours, you know?
I've been there.
Oh, God. Anyway, and so she wrote a book called Say the Wrong Thing. And
Nice.
I rewrote the title of her book by accident,
Oh.
and started and told her that she wrote a book, Say Something Wrong. She didn't know that.
You're
So,
right.
but in the email that I carefully wrote, I
Yeah.
think that's what I said. Anyway,
Whoops.
and so our collaborative conversations are between three groups: a
Mhm.
museum user group,
Mhm.
a walking conversation group called Topic Talk Walks,
Mhm.
and the third group is an outdoor adventure African American group.
Mhm.
So I
Nice.
thought, there's no time to find out whether she can be a part of this unknown format
Mhm.
that we are just implementing
Creating.
and
Yeah.
co-creating together. And but I contacted them, anyway, and I said, for now, because the title of this whole thing is What's Possible,
Mhm.
Love, E-STEAM Avocation Collaboration Games, and what's possible right now
Mhm.
is just to take some of the quotes that she put into that book, Say Something Wrong, because
Mhm.
I'm so good at it. I don't have to work at that. I know that. I got
You
that
have
down.
mad skills.
Yeah, so I'm good. I'm good. And so use some of her quotes and examples,
Mhm.
and her TEDx talk.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, uh, what awesome. Mm. And just let that be a springboard for conversation.
Mhm.
And I want to get uh, um, Dorothea Madry involved as well,
Mhm.
but there's so little time to do everything.
Yeah.
For her, she's working full time as an educator,
Mhm.
and for children, special needs children,
Right.
and she's with Beckworth Doers.
Mhm.
So this series is for ages 6 to 96. It used to be for 3 for 93, but we've we figured
Exactly.
we've got it, um, so it's just arbitrary,
Yeah.
and but the concept that I'm imagining right now
Yeah.
is that our walking conversation group is just exploring in conversation.
Mhm.
And the museum user, what I'd like to be able to do is to actually set a time where we hands-on do edutainment.
Mhm.
If we're doing it by Zoom, you
Mhm.
notice the bubbles in the display.
Mhm.
We'll be using bubbles for different projects that we, in conversation, in topic talk walks, determine, yeah, I can get on board with that. Why don't we do this and that and make this an
Mhm.
E-STEAM edutainment example? For example, um, now during COVID-19 pandemic,
Right.
people need to do things that help them stay stronger, and especially the African American community.
Totally.
So
Totally.
what can we do for them that gives them greater strength and resisting? First of all, love.
Love.
Let them
Absolutely.
know we want them to be strong.
Yep.
And second of all, um, bubbles
Mhm.
are an example of what how you make sure that you have good air strength, you know, you increase your oxygenation in your
Right.
lungs
Right.
by, you know, just with you know, in the hospital, they make you blow against resistance, but you can do that with a straw and a cup and soapy water
Right.
and have fun with it. You know, and we can talk about bubbles while you're doing it. Talk about how they are self-assembling, and talk about the scientist that created all these experiments about bubbles. But somebody else might be into music or theater, and they can, or improv comedy. I'm now going to 2 improv comedy Zoom workshops
That's
every
awesome.
week. I would love it if you could join us, because you want to interview somebody who works with computer games, and somebody named, and I can't say his last name. It's really OHM. He actually does both coaching for beginner improv, and he does uh, games, computer games.
Oh, cool.
And last night in the workshop, the lighting was, you know, really neat for him, and he looked like Elvis Presley.
Nice.
So
nice.
Anyway, but he's Asian, really neat fellow. But he said, he says, as long as you don't charge him for the interview, he's open to that.
Right.
So he's with the Monkey Butler Improv Comedians group on Meetup. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun. So what I'm hoping is we do these collaborative things with topic talk walks once a month for 1 hour, but sometime, whether it's once every quarter or once every 6 months, I don't know how it's, or once a week if we get good at it. You know, we do edutainment Zoom events. Some of them could be charged for, you know, where people, but for example, you're an entertainer. The name of the person who wrote the book, Say Something Wrong, her name is Dr. Amanda Kemp. She could charge. That's you guys could work together and create your own business out of it independently. Our thing is just to volunteer and do this as a game, but there'll be spin-offs and innovations. There's another TED Talk person named, you know her, Brene Brown.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she talked about how we've lost the ability to create what Dr. Amanda Kemp refers to as transformative space for unconditional love and etc.
Right.
We've lost, because without that space, we are not going to have the courage for innovation and entrepreneurship. So we're just, this game is to support that. I didn't mean to be talking so long.
No, that's fine.
Yeah. So but anyway, so your role would be, if it worked for you, just to be there once a month to field whatever questions that relate to something that you feel, I can contribute on that area, and introduce yourself as a small business coach and entrepreneurship. So for people to start the beginning. So if Dr. Amanda Kemp has written and produced and acted in plays for racial dialogue, to help people bridge that gap. I'm thinking that the game itself will bridge that gap. If we just just recognize what we love in common,
Mm-hmm.
and what projects we want to volunteer our trust time with each other
Mm-hmm.
to do together, uh, we've already jumped that hurdle,
Right.
you know.
Right. That's
Uh,
cool. And that clears up a lot, and I'm in. I think that's great. And so I was just so confused. I was like, wait, what did I sign up for? I don't understand. Because it's like I wanted to help, but I also didn't want to disappoint or, just be like, wait, what?
yeah,
Because right, like, it's understandable that you're kind of feeling like you're not communicating well because you're creating things that don't have a language yet.
they don't exist.
It's a totally new thing. And and you'll find the words. The words will, come up as they need to. But you're right, it's kind of like it's this new format. We're going to be trying this collaborative thing, and so that's cool. All right, I feel so much better.
Yes. Well, hopefully we'll design this game so that you know, step by step, as you see oh, I have to tell you.
Yeah.
I don't know if I already told you we're in this Clutterers Anonymous.
No. Oh, wait, because your guy was walking behind us, like
Yeah,
getting rid of like just a little bit at a time, right?
yeah, yeah. And they have a 12-step program
Okay.
that helps guide them to uh, reaching their goals, whatever
Mm-hmm.
that goal is, but reaching that goal spiritually and emotionally and behaviorally.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to projects that you do collaboratively, economic projects that you do
Mm-hmm.
collaboratively,
Mm-hmm.
where our game is addressing that spiritual, emotional, and behavioral component,
Mm-hmm.
the
Right.
business component, you know, after you, and you work on that, you know, as a just experiments, you know, just do it on a volunteer basis, but you get the game is going to have units, trust units,
Yeah.
you
Trust
know,
you.
that people could trust, love units,
Yeah.
that people could spend with whatever company is supporting that game, you know, whatever in-kind sponsors
Mm-hmm.
or paying sponsors,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. I don't really want to make a business out of it. Somebody else would have to do that part,
Mm-hmm.
not me,
Right.
because I have my hands full just dealing with this. And
Right.
you know, so uh, so once that's developed, then at that point, you know, it can evolve and uh, be actually a moneymaker. It could very easily become a moneymaker. For example, um, uh, many people, you know, if you're a member of AAA, you
Mm-hmm.
get a discount code. If
Mm-hmm.
you've traveled so many miles, you get a miles plus code. That's complementary currency.
Mm-hmm.
Our our trust love units that we'll exchange in this game
Mm-hmm.
are complementary currency units. And in nature, um, the economic currency is living energy. So if you're a frog, you you're not interested, as I mentioned, in credit cards or cash. No
Right.
pockets,
Right.
interferes with jumping.
Right.
So,
It just
you
weighs you
know,
down.
yeah, yeah, weighs you down. It's not helpful. And so living energy. So they would like more of that
Bring on the
because,
flies. Bring on more flies, please.
yeah, exactly. Oh, yum, 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 yum. All over the place. So, yeah. So, but they can only eat so many. Otherwise, you know,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
So, but if you have an abundance, if you want to see that abundance accomplish something, you have to be connected collaboratively. Otherwise, it just sits there and nothing happens.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of people during this COVID-19 have the savings, the ratio of savings to spending
Mm-hmm.
is um, far more savings is, just sitting there,
Mm-hmm.
not accomplishing anything.
Right.
And so to get that flow going,
Mm-hmm.
that living energy complementary currency going,
Mm-hmm.
you can't get mileage plus complementary currency going because of this health thing.
Right.
We've got to create our own little living energy currency through our innovative collaborative conversations in this game. We can generate a lot of living energy currency that can be exchanged for numerous things, including your services as a
Mm-hmm.
coach.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could spend them doing whatever it is that you want to serve
Mm-hmm.
to purchase, whether it's on Amazon
Mm-hmm.
or wherever it is,
Right.
it empowering people economically
Mm-hmm.
with our living energy currency of trust love units.
Mm-hmm.
Through the E-STEAM Avocation Collaboration Game.
Yeah.
So not a Monopoly game where everybody dies at the end and the winner
Right.
just goes, wee, wee, wee. Oh
Right.
gosh, I'm in a cemetery.
Right. Exactly. Like, I beat all you guys. Ha ha.
You're
Oh
all
wait,
dead. Uh-huh.
where'd y'all
You should be,
go?
you should be applauding. I want to hear the applause.
That's right. That's
What's
right.
the matter? Dead people don't applause. They should have told me.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Where is everybody?
Yeah, they
Why are
were my
they? Yeah.
fans. They were my fans. What happened?
Right. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. So yeah. So
Okay.
I can show you the picture. I'm not sure. Every it's 3 meetup groups. Some people are a member of all 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
So and I would just copy the same thing in all 3 groups, but I don't think that's appropriate anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I'm making the Beckworth Doers, where my hero Winston Walker,
Mm-hmm.
used to be the leader there, and now there's a new wonderful leader. I'm just getting to know him. His name is Alton Clark,
Oh,
and
fun.
yeah, so and he approved our sharing this on Beckworth Doers. So, but I'm still working on it, and so I can show you what I've got, and then we can.
Sure.
So let's see. Okay. So that's Dr. Amanda Kemp. That's
Awesome.
her. That's her book.
Okay.
So, but say the wrong thing. What I wanted it to be clear in Beckworth Doers that it's a part of a collaborative conversation series called "What's Possible Love."
Mm-hmm.
So I thought I'll just I can title all 3 of them "What's Possible Love."
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, or I can just title it say the wrong thing at Dr. Amanda Kemp, and then when they look, they will see we don't have her with us,
Mm-hmm.
but at least we're going to spur the conversation with quotes from
Yeah.
her, and that's her book. Maybe I should also add her TED talk as a picture, TEDx talk
Yeah.
into
For
the
sure.
collage. Okay, we'll do that. I like that picture better.
I mean, that is a wonderful picture of her, but I wonder if you could have almost like an inset somewhere on the screen, of like a picture of her at the TED Talk.
Yeah, that was a very serious expression that I see as their main thing. But I could look through. Yeah, I like that. I like that idea. Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll do that. And yeah, I watched her transformative theater performance of Show Me the Franklins
Mm.
and the Benjamin Franklin and his relationship to slavery.
Oh, wow.
And it was
Sounds powerful.
awesome. Oh, and his wife, Benjamin Franklin's wife, while he was in Europe, had lost a young son. And after her young son died, she got an African American baby son who also died.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And but she couldn't find the records, of whose baby that was.
Mm-hmm.
And, but she found evidence that suggested that that baby belonged to someone who was working with um, uh, Benjamin Franklin in Europe,
Oh,
and
wow.
who had hoped that um, she would get her freedom, and the
Mm-hmm.
freedom was always rejected, you know. a-
Yeah.
And so, and it 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 was extremely sad, and it was also, I mean, it,
It's
it also,
moving. Yeah.
yeah, it's moving, but also it even though they're talking slavery,
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't help thinking about myself when I was working in Manhattan,
Mm-hmm.
feeling like a slave to all the work that was boring and
Yep.
just not creative, and didn't touch my avocational um, passions and
Mm-hmm.
desires to have purpose in life.
Mm-hmm.
Stripped me of purpose, stripped me of meaning, made me feel like a slave.
Mm-hmm.
And in looking for someone to find a release, to find a way to get out of it, I was um, I had a scholarship to Fashion Institute of Technology.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, based on excellence of poverty.
Wow. Okay. Thanks.
I was also artistic, and I did get
Yeah.
A's and everything,
Yeah.
but in art, but I didn't get A's in science.
Mm.
And that's what interested me the most. And I didn't try to get a scholarship because I didn't have faith in myself that uh, I, I didn't think I could succeed,
Mm-hmm.
because I needed a certain kind of educational structure that allowed me to pursue what really motivated me. And that pattern of educational crippling,
Mm-hmm.
educational and workplace crippling, happens to people of all races.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, in my opinion, like the Walking Dead spiritually.
Yeah.
And so my most admirable example of somebody who escaped that Walking Dead experience was George Washington Carver.
Mm-hmm.
But another one is Leonardo da Vinci.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the thing is, our educational system really needs to empower us rather than imprison us and enslave us.
Mm-hmm.
And another person that's with our um, collaborative conversation group
Mm-hmm.
is Ron Green. He's the co-founder of the Origin at Eve, and that's a holistic education program. And then we also have Roya Brown,
Mm-hmm.
who's with the UBU, our early education
Mm-hmm.
programs. So we have a lot of people involved in our um, already connected with the Topic Talk Walks
Mm-hmm.
uh, uh, experience over the past 12 years, and growing and
Mm-hmm.
becoming, and we're building building on those relationships. So hopefully, as we grow, we'll be able to address that living dead in school and living dead at work experience, and so that we will actually be able to share a very vibrant, gee, I can't wait, you know,
Mm-hmm.
go to work today.
Right.
You know, I'm,
Right.
you know, instead of, God, another
It's a
day.
total paradigm shift, and that's awesome. Because yeah, we do need to get away from the, like, you just automatically hate going to work. It's kind of like, it doesn't have to be like that. And, or, it's like, even if you do work that, like, oh, you have to hate your boss, otherwise people are going to think you're weird. And, and it's just like, why, who says, why does it have to be like that? And so what a wonderful way to kind of open up that conversation of, like, hey, maybe we could think about this in a different way.
And especially, that was your mentor, Barbara Scher's message.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you doing something you don't love?
Mm-hmm.
What's your obstacle, right?
Right. What's holding you back? And so it's, and even when people are really successful, I saw this one woman speak once, Tama Keeves, and she used to be a really successful lawyer who then turned into like a self-help coach and stuff like that. And she remembers somebody saying to her, if you're already this good at something you hate, how good are you going to be when you're doing something you love? And so, so for people who are like, well, I've already worked so hard to get to where I am, status wise with this thing that I hate. And it's like, well, good job on you for getting to that, but it's like, how good could you be if you freed up all that energy and like focused it and in a different direction that was more pleasing? Right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. But I love that example of Tama Keeves
Mm-hmm.
from Harvard and
Mm-hmm. So
law.
you're familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, but she became an author and a counselor, and
Mm-hmm.
but I think people who don't have that special
Right.
clout,
Mm-hmm.
the
Right.
Harvard clout and
Right.
everything, have a harder time feeling empowered.
Right. Right. And that's another part of the conversation. It's like, oh, well, she went to Harvard. That's nice for her, but what about me? I barely graduated high school, or whatever somebody's paradigm is, whatever their sense of limitations or perceived limitations or
And
whatever it is.
support group,
Yeah. Yeah.
the infrastructure to
Mm-hmm.
support each other collaboratively.
Mm-hmm.
She walked into a collaborative environment
Mm-hmm.
full of collaborative support that she didn't give herself permission initially to connect with.
Mm-hmm.
But once she did, um, she took off. But it was just a matter of saying, oh, so that's that socket over there? Okay, I'll just plug there. But most people won't say, what socket? I'm
Right.
I'm I'm
Right.
by myself.
They can't see it. Yeah.
Well, not only can't see it, it's not there to see.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. So, we're over time because we
That's
stopped.
and so I do need to hop off so I can get to my next appointment. But I'm so glad we had a chance to check in about this. And yeah,
Oh, I
it's
am so
exciting.
glad. And we'll learn as we go.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I was like, I wasn't mad or anything, and it's so hard sometimes to tell tone. And that's why I was like,
No, I knew you.
yeah, yeah.
I knew we had to, because we didn't have a chance to really, you know, I was doing all the talking. I didn't hardly let you speak.
All good. It's all good. But yeah, no, I'm glad. This is a project I'd be proud to be a part of. So yeah, thank you for thinking of me and inviting me.
Oh, thank you so much. So I'll get on Venmo and pay you today. And then whenever you feel that, okay, I need to talk to you, just
Yeah.
let me know. And
Yeah.
when my budget doesn't allow it, I'll let you know.
Right. Totally. Totally. And and thanks for keeping me in the loop with the other emails, just
Yeah.
kind of CCing me and everything. So, I'm in the loop. I just, while we were on the phone, I thought about it. Sorry, that's why I was kind of looking down. I blocked off that time on my schedule on the 29th. So I make sure I have a
Oh,
lot of time
that's
on either side. So,
wonderful.
so,
That's wonderful.
but I had not done that yet. And I was like, oh crap, if I don't do it right now, I will probably space out and then it'll get scheduled and then it'll be awkward. So anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah, so I'm really looking forward to the 29th. And
I love you. You're awesome. Hey, do you want to come on an improv?
maybe I have a
I'll,
lot going on, but if you
it's
let me
from
know the
7
details.
to 9. Yeah, I'll send you an email.
Okay.
There's 2 groups, adventures in improv and improv comedians on Meetup. So,
Great.
and I go to both of them, not
Cool.
always, but frequently.
Yeah. No, it sounds fun. And if I can work it in, I totally will.
Okay. We'll see you.
Awesome. All right.
Bye
You
for
take care.
now.
Have a great rest of your day.
You too,
Thanks.
Kimberly.
Okay.
Thank you
Bye.
so much.
You're so welcome.